Hey mum, there's 4 key reasons mums fail to really reach a place where the maintenance of looking, feeling, and functioning well becomes actions without thought. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, really, isn't it? Because you don't want to have to intently focus on being healthy every day, looking fantastic every day. You just want it to become actions without thinking, is something you just do. So the 4 key reasons I've come across come from all of the conversations that I have with mums. So I speak to mums every day, and there's a common theme. And most of the time, it starts with focusing too intently on a goal and a time frame. So what will often happen is a mum will say, I want to lose X amount in X amount of time, and then challenge herself to it. Do everything possible, throw everything in the kitchen sink at it, ultimately to get to a point where halfway their wheels start falling off, or they get to the end and they don't like the lifestyle that they've created for themselves. And in this place, oftentimes what the problem becomes is the fourth thing, and that's overwhelm. So doing too much and not being rewarded equally for the effort that you're putting in. Think about all of the things you have to do to get healthy and doing them all at once, but it taking too long to see the result, right? This is the mindset issue that a lot of mums will find themselves in, and they'll often just throw their hands up in the air, or they'll grind through it only to keep getting the same result. Which brings me now to the third thing, and the third thing is uncertainty. So because you've challenged yourself to this goal, you've thrown everything but the kitchen sink at it, and you're not getting rewarded for the effort, you start to look elsewhere for things and tweaks that you can make, tips and strategies that can get you there faster or make it easier, and those kinds of hacks. And when you try and hack your way out of things, well, you don't actually get to a point where you've increased your capacity, you've increased your ability and your skill sets, and you've become the person that can maintain that goal. So whilst you may get the goal in the short term, you won't get it and keep it in the long term. Okay, and then that brings me now to the fourth thing, and that is the stories and the emotional baggage that you carry from one attempt to another, the beliefs, behaviors, everything that you've been taught as a child. Imagine that it's this big snowball that's ultimately reached the point that you're at right now. There's a lot of momentum behind it, and when all the momentum is going in one direction, it's really hard to stop and turn around and do a complete 180. So the key really to moving that momentum and creating a change in direction really comes down to applying the brakes slowly, getting really clear on why you're doing it and what values you have that must be upheld along the way, and then taking small steps and taking the right steps to getting to that place. So look, you're watching this video because you've clicked on an ad of mine before, you've watched the webinar, or maybe you've half watched it and you got interrupted. Maybe you just didn't even watch it and you just sort of sussed it out. So I invite you to go back to the webinar training, re-watch it, and even if you have watched it, get clearer on the principles that I present in that training so that you're very clear on the exact steps that you need to take as a mum to get a fit, strong body after babies. And once you do that, if you want to be fast tracked through that whole process, book in a call so you and I can get to speak and personalize it to you. See ya.